Oh my god, literally in like my middle school diploma, or like it had my name spelled.
In your diploma?
Yes, like.
Hello and welcome to season 5 of Admitted. Admitted is the Classic's premier college admissions podcast, where we sit down with Townsend Harris seniors and talk about the college application process. In this episode, you'll get an inside look at how the senior got in and is committing to Northwestern University. Throughout the season and episode, you'll hear about college essays, personal statements, supplemental essays. You'll also hear about classes, extracurricular activities, and awards. Hello, my name is Ryan. I'll be your host throughout the season. This is season 5, episode 1. Now let Pastor Ryan take it away. Enjoy. Thank you, and welcome to the next episode of Admitted. Today we're joined by
Tristan.
And a bit about the school you're committing to, the field, the major you want to study, and how did you apply to your school?
I'm committed to Northwestern University, and I'm going with an econ major. And I do plan on, like most of the student body, usually do like a dual degree or maybe just a minor in entrepreneurship. And I applied through Common App. So yeah.
Did you apply through regular decision or?
I did regular decision.
Okay. I think we should hop into the first essay. And we can start with the prompt you chose.
So their general prompt for Northwestern is, we want to be sure we're considering your application in the context of your personal experiences. What aspects of your background, your identity, your school setting, your community, your household, etc. have most shaped how you see yourself engaging in Northwestern's community, be it academically, extracurricularly, I don't even think that's a word, culturally, politically, socially, and otherwise. So my answer was, I've seen both worlds growing up in one corner of Brooklyn and commuting to attend a school in a more fortunate neighborhood in Queens has provided me with double vision. I've seen how care and resources can nourish a community, but it needs people to believe in that community first. I believe in my community of Canarsie, here lies ideas that people don't always have faith in to keep alive. However, Northwestern University will connect me with the needed mentorship and opportunity to become an innovator to breathe more air into my community. NUvention is a program tailored for me to fulfill my goal of connecting me with like-minded people who also want to change the world for the better. At the Farley Center, the small ideas that nag at me can see the light of day. I can study entrepreneurship as a minor while attending the numerous student events provided, learning what it truly means to be an entrepreneur. The global opportunities at Northwestern let this education become hands-on. Not only is the education offered at Northwestern able to flourish through assignments, but also through experience. Advocacy for those who are overlooked can be accomplished through research and innovative opportunities. The glass ceiling cracks at Northwestern as the curriculum allows students of a diverse student body to explore cultural opportunities globally. I will inspire those in my community by opening doors at Northwestern and whatever they present to me. I can then apply my skills and wisdom in real life to build up my home. I commute about an hour each morning to get to school because my neighborhood is constantly overlooked. Being an innovator means I can change the world where all students have the same push to amount to more. Attending Northwestern won't just make me a dreamer, but an innovator.
Great essay. I think differently from the previous ones I've heard, this one was more direct to the prompt, and I think you addressed it clearly and a lot of different aspects, and also you connected them. I liked that, like the commute part. I think it shows the time commitment you have to spend each day, like required to go to school, but also that could be changed. Maybe like better metro or stuff. How did you come up with the idea of this essay?
For context, when I was writing my supplements, this was all over winter break, and I realized I should just sit down and try to get through as many as I can, because I applied regular decision, and I can't remember the exact day, but it was early January where the deadline was set. And as I was reading the prompt, it was talking about my background, and I feel and a lot of the other applications that I was submitting, I didn't want it to only be like just solely like about race, because I feel like there's much more intersections. And again, like I feel like going to school in a different borough, like a vastly different borough than like where I'm from, I feel like that is also a big part of my identity, because it's always like when I'm talking like with new people in Townsend, it's always like, you live in Brooklyn? Or it's like, how did you get here? Like, how long does it take you to get there? Like, that was always like a thing that's like come up a lot. And I feel like I've never really looked at how like that is like actually like a very important aspect of like a student, like a high school student, because it's like, even if you are going to school like 5 minutes away from your home, it's still, you're still seeing like how your education can like directly impact like your location.
I think one follow-up to that is how when you're revising and editing and going through different drafts of your essays, how much help did you get from like teachers or students, and like how did you like take in the feedback and change your essays?
I feel like that's a good question, because like, I don't know if you do this, but like sometimes like when people are reading my work, like I'm like stressed out because it's like,
me too.
Yeah, like,
yeah,
like sometimes like I appreciate like very honest feedback, but obviously like it's still gonna hurt if someone's like just like degrading it.
Yeah.
So when I was initially writing it like in junior year, like I said, like Duffy is like a very good critic, and she wasn't like sugarcoating anything. Like she would tell you like right then and there, like if something like didn't make sense to be there, or if it was just like a weak like idea. Not like in those exact words, like, but like something in that realm of like, yeah, like you should pursue something that's more aligned with like your identity, or like something you're actually interested in. Like, don't like force like an idea, because again, like this is your college essay, like you have to write 650 words about it. So then I also relied on a lot of like my friends, because we all did like this thing where everyone just exchanged like their essays. And personally, I'm like bad at grammar. Like I know that's like my weakest like what would I even call it? My weakest skill. I know that's my weakest skill. So I didn't want to submit something with a bunch of errors, because even if I put it in like Grammarly, for some reason like there's still things that it like misses, or they'll try to like correct it in a way that doesn't like make sense, because I write how I talk and I wanted it to still sound like Tristan. So I exchanged it with like 4 to 5 friends, I think, and we all like reviewed that. And then I also like went to Sweeney like as much as I can, because again, like the clave was always open for me to just walk in. I'm not even in the classic, but like I would just
the clave is our home. It's our home.
Like I would just walk in, because you guys always have the door open, so it's like, and if he was like there and he didn't have like anyone like actively sitting in his spinny chair, like, or like across the desk, then I would find a way for him to give me feedback on it. And I feel like it helped a lot. Not only like grammatically, but also like he gave me like the idea to like push my essay further. And it was like more like open dialogue, because it didn't feel like I was forced to like even listen to his feedback. But like as we talked about it, it was like, yeah, like you're onto something, you know? Like, so yeah, that's how it worked out.
But before we go on to today's video, I want to thank today's sponsor, Kweller Prep. Kweller Prep is an award-winning educational program that helps students across their educational journey, from the SHSAT in middle school to the SAT in high school and beyond. Kweller Prep also offers in-person and online classes with a maximum of 10 students per class to offer more on one-to-one and personal experience. Kweller Prep also offers college admissions advice that can help navigate you through a rather complicated college application process. To learn more about Kweller Prep, click the link in the description or go to kwellerprep.com to learn more about it. Thank you again for Kweller Prep to sponsor today's video, and on to the personal statement. Okay, I think we should move on to the personal statement. You can start with your prompt.
Yeah. The prompt, I think I just did, I can't even remember. Wait. Oh, I think I just did the first prompt.
Okay.
So yeah. Oh wait. Okay.
Okay. That would be good. Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, go
on. So the prompt I chose was the first one, and it says some students have a background, identity, interest, or talent that is so meaningful they believe their application will be incomplete without it. If this sounds like you, then please share your story. And for my identity, I chose my name. So I'll begin reading now. I've committed identity fraud. I'm not Tristan with an A. Throughout my school career, I've brought home awards to put on the fridge, all dedicated to Tristan, leaving no choice but to claim the legacy. There are times I contemplated if I should be, or if my mom was the one who made the mistake instead of everyone else. Every room I entered, I can see eyes brighten from anticipation and slowly dim from confusion. Even Google cannot fathom my existence as it highlights my name with a red squiggle each time. The World Wide Web includes information about a plethora of topics, yet I, as Tristan, seems to be breaking their system. I've gone through lengths to hide my identity fraud, clinging to nicknames to shorten the inevitable confrontation of spelling out my name. All variations of who I truly am, never fully encapsulating the one thing in this world that truly belongs to me. Trissy, Tree, Tris, but never Tristan. I've wished I could find a cute personalized tag that could belong to me. I've wished I could see myself among the list of girl names that could give me a few seconds of validation, but I've committed identity fraud. I was complacent when my 7 letters were obscured by one letter muddling who I seemed to be. Tristan, the teacher spelled without a second thought. My interference seemed like an inconvenience, the familiar tension bubbling within my chest. It was only one letter off, yet it was a different person. The credit, the recognition, and the acceptance will all go to my fake identity. Raising my hand seemed remedial. Time ticked as I waited for attention. Finally, with the acknowledgement from the teacher, "I think you misspelled my name," I spoke. Think? I knew. I knew from the bottom of my heart that wasn't me on the board. My name doesn't have an A, it's spelled with an I instead. My teacher finally gave back my identity with a quick exchange of the infamous vowels. My misdeeds seemed to track me down senior year. I was appointed to play Kamala Harris in my school's annual election simulation, faced headfirst with a figure who struggles with people stumbling over the syllables in her name. I wondered if Vice President Harris thought her mother was the one who spoke her name wrong, or if it seemed like an inconvenience to her audience to constantly introduce herself with the emphasis on the second A in her name. There's a population of people who think Kamala or Camilla, wait, I said that wrong, but Kamala or Camilla is the nation's vice president, some choosing to not pronounce her name purposefully as an act of revenge against an educated Black woman. My name was truly an anomaly. Although I wasn't facing the same microaggressions acted against Kamala Harris, the public's skewed assumptions deprived me of my identity. However, misspelling my name was a genuine mistake, a quick fix. No one had intentions to set a trap to catch me of my crime, because everyone assumed I was never a fraud. Then why did it feel like I had to be on the run? There was no excuse to continue a life of crime from identity fraud when I could be a good Samaritan. I will no longer be an afterthought to Tristan. I will no longer water myself down to be a Trissy to save the invasive conversation about gender and what a boy name is. If I wanted others to accept my name, the domino effect had to start with me. I am Tristan, with an emphasis on the I in my name. I joined a new program in the summer of my senior year. My identity fraud was left in the past as my name was credited boldly. My smile reached my eyes as I delivered my final business pitch presentation as Tristan, because without that little I, then who am I?
That was very good.
Oh, thank you.
When you said like Grammarly sometimes put the squiggly red line, I thought was very good line. And I think your essay was more, because you wrote about your name, it was much, you could talk about like all throughout your life instead of just one anecdote, like other essays. And I liked how you tied it into Kamala Harris and your election simulation experiences. How did you try to link those two ideas of your name and also Kamala Harris and election simulation?
So yeah, well, like, I feel like it only worked out because I had so many drafts in the beginning that I couldn't like decide on my essay yet. And since I really wrote this like in October, and we started election sim, I think like late-ish September, I feel like coincidentally it like aligned perfectly. And like Mr. Sweeney was the one who like brought it up, and it felt like all the stars just happened to be like in a ray at that point. And it was because he was drawing similarities between it, And like I picked up what he was like trying to put down, and I was like, wait, no, like I understand, because like I was trying to emphasize why my name was important, and I feel like I needed more of a real world example, because again, like I haven't really done much with my life yet, so it wasn't like I couldn't be like, oh, like my diploma had my name misspelled. Like I haven't like received enough to really like emphasize why this was so important to me, because again, like it's always like, oh, like the honor roll awards or something like that, like it may seem like small to like the general public, so I had to emphasize like why this was such a big staple to me, and like why like this, it wasn't just like a small little like error. Like I feel like this was a very big mistake to me. But then I also like wanted to tie it into like how like people can also have like malicious intent and like try to like use like someone's like, I wouldn't even say insecurity, but maybe like trying to like push someone's button, like ultimately. And I feel like drawing like a difference on how I wouldn't let this like just hinder me, and like there's people like who are also in the same situation where like people are like mispronouncing her name on purpose. And I think not to get like too political, I don't know how political I could get on this, but it was like, I forget which debate, but there was a like presidential debate, and Trump continuously like mispronounced Kamala Harris's name, and it was to the point where even like his fan base or like his supporters were also like purposely putting this on like their shirts, and they were basically essentially like trying to use her name as a way to make fun of her. And I feel like again that just brought more emphasis on why like your name is such an important part of your identity, because just as someone can use it to like identify you or like pick you out in a crowd, like people can also try to use it as like a weapon like formed against you.
In like your junior year, at the end of the year, was this like the essay idea you wrote for that class, or did you change it throughout that editing process?
My college essay, it changed vastly. I did not end up having a solid draft of the actual like essay I used to apply to Northwestern until October. Like it was bad, because in junior year I had Miss Duffy's class, and she's a very like good critic, and I feel like her feedback on my like first idea, which I also did not like my first idea, because my first idea, it's like now that I'm thinking about it, I don't know why like I wanted to write about it, but I was gonna try to connect. Oh wait, no, I feel like I'm missing like context. Basically, my intended major was always going to be like business or like business administration. So then I wanted to tie that into Princess and the Frog, which is like my favorite Disney movie. But I was trying to like tie into why I love the character Tiana so much, because she's like a self-made woman. And like a lot of other Disney princesses are usually like catered towards like the romance part, or like her like trying to get the guy. But in Princess and the Frog, while like it does like she still has a Disney prince, it was more like the second storyline, and the main storyline being her trying to get to her restaurant, like her fulfilling her dream. And again, like she was also like trying to uplift her own community, because that's like especially with like, I don't know, I feel like I'm ranting about Princess and the Frog, but like I wanted to try to write that into an essay, but for some reason it just wasn't clicking. And even after like conferencing like at the end of junior year with Miss Duffy, like I still did not like it. Like I felt like I would understand like when I got like the actual essay that I wanted. Like, you know, like there's always like that feeling like when you're trying to do something, like, you know, like when it finally clicks, and it was not clicking for me. So then I think like I started like revisiting it in August, because I wanted to enjoy my summer. Like college was not on my mind like in the beginning of the summer. So then later on, like I feel like at the end of August, that's when I went back on like Google Docs, and I was trying to think of like what I would want to write about. So then I was gonna write about like The Sims or something, like The Sims 4. Like I was just trying to see like interests that may like align with it. But then I was writing it and I still hated it. And even if I would like sit down, like I'll play like a good song, like I'll try to like get in the zone, and like the words just like, it still wasn't like giving like what I am like imagined as like a good essay. Because again, it's always like if you go on TikTok, it's like, oh, like I hate the letter S, or like something like that. like I feel like there was like more pressure on me to have like a quirky aspect of it, but it just wasn't like clicking to me. So then again, and then I also wanted to apply to UNC Chapel Hill, and their early action deadline is October 15th. And I was like, I need to have the essay by October 15th, or I'm not gonna be able to like apply like early action. So then I was trying to stress like getting my essay done, because I was like, if I get my essay done, then answering the other supplements are gonna be easier. Which is like, I feel like it's true. Like, I feel like I would always recommend like getting your college essay, like your Common App, like out the way first, because then the supplements, it's like easier, especially because there's always like main groups that they're gonna ask. It's like either like community or like something about your major. Like, I feel like after that, like it's smooth sailing. But then my first idea, which ended up like not even my first idea, but the one draft that I feel like I was starting to like more was about my name, because my name is Tristan, but it's spelled with an I. And then even then, like, it's always like I feel like it's always like assigned like a gender. And like commonly like when I was like in elementary school, like middle school, if someone said like the name Tristan, they were always envisioning like a boy. And then I would always have to explain like, no, like that's my name. Like, it's not spelled with an A. Or like I'll always have to try to correct the teacher. Or like if we're writing it on the board, like I'll always have to say like, no, like it doesn't have the A and like it's an I. And I feel like that's also, again, like a staple of my identity, because I feel like it's also what pushed me to be more outspoken. Because like even like a small like spelling error can be like a pet peeve, where like it can like deeply like impact someone. So then that's when I started writing about my name. And then again, I felt like it was missing something. Like, it was just like basic. Like, it was like, oh, they misspell it, I correct it, like it gives me emphasis on like who I am as a person. But then it still didn't have like a factor that would make like other people want to like read it, because I feel like it was like standard. So then that's when I started talking to like Sweeney. And again, this was like October. Like, and this was also at the height of election sim, where I was playing Kamala Harris, and he was telling me that I should try to intertwine like the name like identity thing, where like a lot of people like commonly like misspeak her name, or like they don't say it properly, or they don't try to put in the effort to like learn the proper pronunciation. And that's when I finally like was like, wow, like I actually like this, because now I was tying in the importance of spelling my name and the importance of like speaking someone's name right, and to how like identity is a very important role, especially if you're trying to be like respected as like a woman, or if you want to have like more people like not even like understand where you're coming from, but more people to like respect your words. Because I feel like when you start to respect someone, that's when you start with their name. Like, you introduce yourself like, hi, my name is Tristan. Hi, my name is Ryan. Like, that's always like the first step. And I feel like people don't understand like how important like someone's name is, because that's the one thing they give you like when you like ever meet someone. So yeah.
That was very good. How did you come up with like in the essay you brought up the term identity theft, the fraud and theft a lot. Why did you choose to use that term, and like how did you come up with it?
Well, like I low-key just wanted to be like dramatic about it. Like I didn't really like, okay, like it has like a better meaning like in my essay, but like when I initially was just like typing at like 3 a.m, like I was like, wait, this is so good, like this is like dramatic, like because I really wanted like a good hook. And I feel like also like, well, this is like not even important, but like usually like when I am writing and it's like not for school, like it's usually like creative writing or something like that. Like I was gonna say like fan fiction, but I don't know if I should say this like on your podcast, but like but like when you're writing like stories like that, it has to be dramatic, or like people are not gonna read it, or like no one's gonna really care about what you're saying if you're not like putting everything up to like 100. So then when I was like writing it, I was like, wait, like this is like a very good hook. Like I feel like people are gonna be like, oh, like what is she talking about? Like what could she possibly be yapping about in this entire essay? And the identity fraud like stuck, because it was like, it's true. Technically, when they do like give me like, I was gonna say like an honor roll award again, or like like when I do get like an award from school and they do misspell my name, technically they're not giving it out to me anymore, because that's not who I am. or like even if it has like an official signature, it's like you gave this out to Tristan with an A.
Yeah, like I have like received a
Yes.
with misspelled.
Oh my god. Literally in like my middle school diploma, or like it had my name misspelled.
In your diploma?
Yes. Like I had to bring it back to my school because they like they had the A at first, and I had to bring it back to school and then get it back again, like with like the real like spelling or whatever. So like, but it was like a quick fix. I mean, like it wasn't like that bad. Like they were understanding about it.
But that the diploma is.
Yes, I only happened to notice because this was like during quarantine, and they had us like pick everything up like in person. So then, like they handed out like the booklet thing, you know, like how they handed that out.
Picture.
They so then I happened to just open it like right then and there because like everyone was just looking at their stuff. And I was like, oh wait, like no. So I had to like bring it because it wasn't even my principal who like handed it to me. Like I don't even know her job title, but she was like in the main office. So I just went back to the main office and I explained the situation. But they were like apologetic about it, like so it was fine. Like they didn't like mean to. Like again, like I feel like they're like a lot of the times when people are misspelling my name, they just like assume it's like already correct. Like they don't mean, like I don't think there's ever like a second where they're like, oh, like let me do this on purpose. I feel like it's generally like apologetic, so it's like fine. And that low-key like happened a lot. I don't even know if it was just my middle school or it was just like people in general, but like even then they would hand out like awards for like dean's list or something like that. And sometimes like they would misspell it, or like in the announcements, like when they would put it on like the board, like they may like misspell it there, but then on my actual like award, they'll have the correct spelling. So then even then it was like a little confusing. So yeah, I don't know. But then I feel like that's also what made me like become more outspoken, because my mom was like, don't take it. Like if it's not spelled correctly, you should not take it, and like you shouldn't keep it because like again, like that's not your name. So then, and especially in school where she's not there to like correct it for me, or like even like at doctor's office when they would like misspell it on like forms, and like she would usually be the one to be like, no, this is like not how you spell it. But then like I started being like more on my own more, and I realized like if no one was gonna say anything, then no one would fix it, and it would have to like fall back on me. Yeah.
In your essay, I think you made a connection between you committing like identity theft in your first couple lines, and other people committing identity theft. Maybe I think maybe I may.
Wait, no. Wait, I think I know what you're talking about.
How did you play with that connection a bit?
But it was more like how technically like identity theft is like a real crime. Like this is like a serious like federal charge. But like when someone is like trying to steal someone's identity, like their social security number or something like that, like they're not seeing how important it is to that person because they're only using it for their personal gain. And I don't want it for my personal gain. Like there's no way I would be able to gain anything from having like someone misspell my name and I'm like accepting it. And like it was more to like separate like my intentions of why I wanted to like fix my name, and it wasn't like being like tedious or something, or like just being a brat about it, but instead like I generally don't want to like fall into this box of someone who's just like not caring or not taking things like as seriously as someone should. So yeah.
And I'll call that a wrap. Thanks so much for watching this episode of Admitted. You can follow our Instagram, THHS Classic. You can also subscribe to the Classic TV. And we'll catch you guys on the next episode of Admitted in a short few days. Thank you.
It taught me to be like a better time like manager. Is that even like a phrase? Like
yeah.
Have better time.